Well, good afternoon. Thank you all for being here. Excited about going to our state capitol and playing down in Jackson on Thursday night. Um, really, encouraged by our offensive output to date. We've got a lot of kids that can really do some special things offensively. And looking at our stats, we've got 7 kids shooting, 53% or better, and 6 of them are in the 60s, and 2 of them are in the 70s. So just there are obviously we're pretty skilled offensively, and we've got to do some things defensively and rebounding, and it's early, it's November, and so coaches always got to keep that in mind. And hindsight's always 20/20, and good night's rest cures a lot of issues. So I'm proud of our kids where we are right now at 4-0, and I'm excited again to go to Jackson. I'm really proud of Jessica being the Player of the Week, well deserved. I think people across the country and especially in our conference are seeing what I've been saying all along, and that she's a versatile player who has vastly improved. Her skill set is really hard to deal with. She can do so many things offensively and defensively. Right now she's already got 10 blocks in 4 games to go along with her offensive game. And I've been saying this, she's got some of those same attributes that a pretty good player in our league named Asia Wilson had. And she's certainly not there yet, but she's got a little bit of that game to her game, and that's what makes her so special. So I think we still need to see her do it night in and night out, and we need to see her do it against some size. That's where she hadn't seen yet, but to see her do it at the level she's done it at so far is certainly encouraging. And so congratulations to her. And again, I think it's well deserved. The kids worked really hard on her game.
Coach pretty much addressed it already with Jessica, but I think Katera used the term poised upstairs just now. It hasn't really taken her a long time to get to that part. Just talk more about the short time she's been able to get to this point.
Yeah, she's confident, and she knows I'm confident in her. She's got the green light. There's not a shot that I don't want her to take. She's really improved her range. I think the encouraging thing right now is she's shooting 76% at the free throw line. So I just think she's got more than a drop-step layup to her game right now, and that's really important. Again, my goal is to get her to where she can play the 4. If you can have a 6'5" player down there, and we can move some of these bigger, have a bigger wing presence out there, you can do some things defensively and offensively that can really create some problems for folks. So I think she's added some things to her game and certainly developed some things. And again, just proud of her. Appreciate all her hard work that she's put in.
Coach, you and the ladies have taken the show on the road in the state of Mississippi several times, and fans kind of take over the arena no matter the opponent. But this is kind of a home game away from home in Jackson. Mississippi State does that in basketball and baseball. How do you feel about those games when you can kind of take the show to the fans?
Yeah, I love it, Steve. I have enjoyed that part of it. This state is so special to me, and it's been special to our program and to all our teams here at Mississippi State. So I love it. We've been to Biloxi, we've been to Jackson, trying to get to Tupelo at some point, but to be able to go back to Jackson this year is really special, and I'm hopeful that we'll have a big crowd down there, and for some people that aren't able to get up here and see us play. And so I do enjoy that, and again, appreciate the opportunity to go down there.
With Jessica taking off so quickly, replacing Tierra, what kind of mindset does a player have to replace a superstar and do so effectively?
Yeah, I think first of all, you got to be a confident player. I think and then the other thing, you better have a skill set to go with it. It's hard to be good if you don't have a skill set. And then I think she knows I've got her back, and I'm equally as confident in her as she should be in herself. She's a different player than T. And so let's not get caught up too much in comparing each other's games to each other. T was more of a power player. I think Jessica can be a power player, but she can also be a finesse player. And so I think when you start trying, for me, I'm just comparing, okay, we lost this many points, this many rebounds at that position. Who do we have at that position that can kind of take that over? And so I think Jessica's doing that. You know, we can look at some other positions that we lost and we're maybe lacking in some of those, but we've picked it up in others. You know, we're really rebounding. Chloe and her are doing a great job. I need some others to pick it up in rebounding. But Jessica is doing a tremendous job. And again, I think a different game. You know, just a different style and a different approach, but has been equally effective for sure.
Vic, just quickly, or Joe rather, had that quick ankle tweak. Is she good to go? I know she came back into the game. Is anything lingering there? Is she good?
I haven't seen her today. I was really impressed that she was able to come back. There was some point on the bench where I didn't think she was going back in, and I asked her, "Are you good?" And she said, "Not really." You know, and I said, "Hey, no problem." But Julie went to work on her, our trainer, and did a good job. And once she got back in, I think she warmed it up and seemed. I mean, I thought that was kind of the old Joe, the counter moves in the lane, the attack in the rim, the finishing. I need to get Jordan back to her old self, and then I think she's got more than what she's been, and we need that. And so I thought she got more and more comfortable last night and did a great job. Showed some tremendous toughness for sure.
And then just on that, I know with the way that last night went, how much do you feel like a game like that, at least in the early going, you're really still in a young season, maybe helps the team at this stage of the season?
Yeah, so we've got a great film to teach with, and you know, again, I could have got out of the press, and that would have taken away some of our issues. I just didn't. You know, like I said, it's a great teaching film, and you know, we'll be able to go look at that and really learn a lot about what we're doing and not doing, how hard we think we're playing, but we're really not. You know, the boxing out piece, the rebounding piece was an issue. A lot of times we got the rebound last night and we just weren't tough enough to hang on to it. And, you know, my kids know I'm real big on toughness. So, you know, all that plays into it. And, again, I probably could have done some things from a coaching standpoint to eliminate some of that, but it's okay.
Similar question to what Brian had about T and Jess. Jazz, I mean, had an incredible assist-to-turnover ratio last year. Now Maya has to step in and sort of replace what she did there. How have you seen her sort of embrace that? And obviously she had probably the game of her career last night. Do you think that's something she can do going forward too?
Well, yeah, you know, we need her to continue to play like that. 7-1 last night, assist-to-turnovers. On the year, though, she's 3-1. You know, 18 assists, 6 turnovers. Jazz, I think, last year led the country at almost 5-1. Yeah, and so it really makes you appreciate and understand how good Jazz was at what she did. And I think the thing last night, Maya really took advantage of them defensively and attacking the rim. You know, I was just really pleased with that. Again, 7 assists, 1 turnover, 5 steals. Man, that's a big night. And then you want to throw in 5 charges. It's a pretty impactful night for a player. I don't care what position you're playing. So what I'm hopeful is those kids sitting on the bench see her playing and how she's playing and the way she impacts the game in so many ways. Scoring was a little bit of it, but steals, assists, charges taken, man, that's impacting the game in a variety of ways. And so I'm hoping that those kids see how important that is to me, our staff, and our fans.
Coach, many of your players entered the program after being leading scorers at their previous program. How difficult a chore is it to teach a prolific offensive player to play hard-nosed defense?
Yeah, we could write a book on that. And again, I just think it's them understanding the importance of playing both ends. Most players want to be, your great players want to be All-Americans. Well, you got to play on both ends. Victoria learned the importance of playing both ends here at Mississippi State, and really came to appreciate the charge taking and the getting in passing lanes for steals and helping us rebound, and all those things are defense. And I think any player, they understand. Hey, look, we're not stopping at half court, and I don't have to cross here. Y'all play defense. I'm on the offensive end. I think they understand the importance of that, and they have a sense of pride. As we get into the season, as we start talking about scouting reports with other teams, we tell them, look, people got scouting reports on you. What do you think it says right now? What does it say? And I've basically told hires after 10 games, people are going to have a pretty good feel for what you can do, can't do, don't do, won't do. And so I think a player is conscientious about their game. Offense, defense, everything. And so I just think it's all an emphasis thing too. High school, you don't have enough time in the day to go over everything and teach everything and be good at everything. And so coaches have to consequently spend their time on the things they think's important. Here we spend time on everything, and obviously defense is a part of that. So I have complete confidence in all of our kids that they're going to get it. They always do. It just takes time. It's the last thing you get, Steve. It's the last component to a great team is that chemistry defensively.
Amisha Williams is at Jackson State now. People forget she was going to be a big part of that SEC championship team before she left. It's been a couple years since we've seen her play. From what you've been able to see and what she's doing there, how has her game grown, and what kind of challenge is she going to be?
Yeah, I haven't seen a whole lot. Robbie, I really focused on our team. I know she's there and really happy that she's in college and having a chance to play and get an education. So from that standpoint, just really happy for her and hope that it works out.
I know y'all played the closed-door scrimmage kind of on the road, but how curious are you just to see how this team reacts when they go on the road?
Well, I am curious, and we are fixing to find out because our next 5 are going to be on the road. And so, we found out a little bit about our team the first time, and now we'll go on the road, and there'll be some minimal distractions in Jackson, and that's okay. What we found is we have that quite often, really, when we go on the road, and that's a good thing to have people that care about your program, people there to see your kids play, people there after games wanting you to stay after and shake hands and hug mamas, kiss babies, sign autographs. It's fine. But with this team, with our youth and our inexperience, 6 new players, it'll be good to take them on the road, and again, we'll learn something about them.
We have some hindsight talking to you and Maya last night. You wanted to put the 4 players on the floor, and you said she told you no. And she mentioned she wanted to bring the energy last night. It did seem like she played a little different than she has the first few games. Do you see her kind of blossoming into what you want at point guard, both as a leader as a point guard and kind of what she does on the floor too?
Yeah, I see her growing. And that's the thing that you want to see any player do, and especially your point guards. There's just so much responsibility that comes with the position, fair or unfair. It's just the way it is. Same thing's true with the quarterback position in football. It's just the way it is. And, for her, Maya's such a great kid, sweet kid. And, human nature is we want to be liked. We don't want to ruffle the feathers of our friends. We don't want to make them mad, but the thing you have to, as you get older in life, you have to, you have to separate. Okay, we're buddies off the floor, but right now we're fixing to go to war. We're fixing to go to battle. We got to get things done. We got to get things done the right way, or we're fixing to go to practice. Hey, we got to do things this way in practice, and there's accountability piece that you want to try to instill and hope that your players will instill in each other. the best locker room is the locker room that holds each other accountable, where the coach doesn't have to do it, but the players do it. And I think for her, as with any player, especially young players, that's the piece that's the hardest to really deal with because you don't want to make anybody mad. They're your buddies, But I say it all the time, y'all. We send them in the film room early in the season, and I tell them, look left and look right. That's your buddy, but can they help you win? You can sit any team in any locker room. That's your buddy, but can they help you win? And I think that's the question that any competitor has to ask themselves, and everybody has to understand. I'm here to help you win. Yeah, we're friends, but man, I'm here to help you win. I'm in the foxhole with you. I've got your back. You got my back. And that's what's hard sometimes with young people, because the accountability piece, holding your buddy accountable, again, we don't know all the things that go on in kids' lives, what kind of day they've had, what kind of morning they've had, what test they might have failed or they did great on, or what's happening back home. And so by the time you get to practice, there's no telling what some of the things that are going on in a kid's life, and you don't know how they're going to react to that. So there's a lot in that answer, but the bottom line is I am pleased with her growth. I think Dee's done a great job with her, and she's showing some signs of being able to handle what comes with the position other than just the playing.
Vic, you mentioned Chloe's rebounding. I know it's only 4 games in the season, so the averages maybe don't necessarily speak to it, but she's at almost 7 a game now, up from about 4 last year. Is that something that you expected her to sort of take a step in, or is that something y'all kind of wanted out of her more this year?
Yeah, absolutely. I need Rakia to jump in there with her. I really need Rakia to help us rebound a little better. She's right now at 2.5, and I need her and Chloe at about 7. And if we can keep Jess in that 8, 9, 10 range, now you got a chance to make up for what you lost in T and Riel. You're not going to get 2 people to take up what you lose in those 2, but I think you can do it by committee. Last night Joe had maybe 6 or 7. Yeah, and so, you get Joe in there helping you battle, which she will. It gives you a chance. Jemiah is really competitive off the bench. Jayla's a heck of a rebounder at the guard position. And Aaliyah wants to rebound, but I've got her at point guard, and I can't ever rebound. But she wants to get every rebound. Well, I got to get her back. That's part of our transition problem, is that she's trying to help me rebound, and I appreciate that, but, baby, you can't do that. You got to get back. So, it's a committee thing, and we've just been real fortunate, obviously, when you got T getting 14 a night, and then you add Anriel to that mix, who was in double figures most nights. I mean, you can get spoiled standing around and realize, I ain't even going in there because I ain't getting it from them 2. Well, them 2 aren't here anymore.
I already asked a few questions about Maya, but just a big picture question. Obviously, you've had the case where a lot of your guards, especially, they don't get significant playing in time until they're juniors, maybe even seniors. A lot of people probably forget. I mean, she's a redshirt sophomore, so just big picture, what she's doing now. I mean, does she have the ability to be, one of the better guards that you've coached? You've coached plenty of them, obviously.
Yeah, sure. I think, again, she's in what would have normally been her junior year, but we were able to save that first year, and which is a real blessing. I mean, and I think where you're really going to see that then is when she's 22 and 23 playing against 18 and 19-year-olds. That's where you see that redshirt year really come into effect and be give her a real advantage. But I do think the kid is developing, and I'm certainly encouraged by her. And again, nobody wants to develop and be better than her. She wants to be there, and it's not that she doesn't want to put in the work or doesn't want to put in the time or doesn't want to be responsible or doesn't feel I don't want to be accountable for it. That's not it. Maya's a great kid, and she's working, but she's young, like you said. This is only her 2nd year of playing at this level, so I think she's obviously shown us some growth here in this first month of the season, but I want to see it against some university ofs. And I think that's where we're headed right now. And so, but I think she'll be ready. I do. I have a lot of confidence in Maya, and I think she's going to be ready.
Anything else?
All right, thank y'all very much. Yep. Praise the Lord and go Dogs.